Is Adam Driver going to be our new Magneto? The Digger trailer with Tom Cruise looks interesting, and we lost a true legend this week in Sam Neill. We'll talk about all that and more in this next episode of Talking Movies and More. Welcome back to the channel, everyone, where we love talking about movies and more. I'm your host, Mason Phillips, and this is the 6th episode of Talking Movies and More. We release this episode every Wednesday on the channel, and next week, got a special surprise. We're actually going to be doing the 2nd episode of the Assembly Cut with myself and Hayden Smalley. We finally got around to filming another episode, so that'll be out next Wednesday in place of Talking Movies and More, and then the next week, Talking Movies and More will return. So we got a couple of topics to discuss today. One of those we're just going to start with is the unfortunate passing of actor Sam Neill. Now, I know him, and I think most of you will know him from the Jurassic Park series, of course, playing legendary character Alan Grant. And for me, this guy, when he steps onto the screen, and it kind of makes sense because when Steven Spielberg was making this movie, initially, I think the character of Alan Grant was supposed to go, they wanted him to go to Harrison Ford. But I think Harrison Ford saw the comparisons maybe too much to Indiana Jones, could be the way the character dresses. But regardless, Harrison Ford passed. They went to Sam Neill with this, and I actually think Sam Neill is more perfect for this than Harrison Ford would have been. He would have been good in the role, but Sam Neill really made this role his own, made it iconic. Jurassic Park and Sam Neill, they just go hand in hand, and it actually feels weird when there's a movie that doesn't have him in it. I like The Lost World with Jeff Goldblum, but you were missing that component of Sam Neill and Laura Dern, and then the Jurassic World series minus Dominion, the first 2 Jurassic World films and then recently Rebirth, not having him in those films, you really feel like there's just a missing component here. And he embodies this role so well, and really just captures the screen, captures the audience's attention. I'm familiar with him in a few other roles, but it's really the character of Alan Grant in the Jurassic Park series that it's his most iconic role for one, so of course that's what you're going to think. But I've actually, since his passing, have been exposed to some of his other roles in films that I have yet to see. I haven't seen The Hunt for Red October. That's on my list, and I'll probably be seeing that this week. Other films that he's done, Hunt for the Wilder People, that I've heard about for a while, and always heard it's a great film, very funny film, and I definitely want to check that out, especially now knowing that he has a role in that film as well. I won't be going too long on this, but it's very sad. He was dealing with some health issues for a while. It kind of seemed like things were on the up and up, but unfortunately it looks like some things caught up to him. So 78 is actually a very young age to go. He was ready to get back to acting from all accounts. He took a little break because of some health stuff and then was about to get back into it. It looked like he was about to start taking some more roles. And so it's very unfortunate that we won't be able to see him in our films anymore. But I think it's just great that we can look back on what he has done. He provided a great legacy for the films that he was a part of, the roles that he created and established, and such a wonderful, nice man as well. Behind the camera, you heard nothing but great stories about Sam Neill. There was never any controversy that came out about him. He was always just a wonderful, warm, very kind human being, and little fun fact I've learned about him, he also had his own farm in New Zealand at his home. He's just a very interesting and warm and kind-hearted person. So it's always hard when you lose a great actor like that and a great person like that too. So Sam Neill will be greatly missed. What are your favorite roles from Sam Neill's career? Is it the Jurassic Park series? Do you have something else that you think of when you hear the name Sam Neill? Go down in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. All right, next topic. This is a big one, but apparently Adam Driver could be our next Magneto. I'm actually all for this casting. Now, Adam Driver has actually his name's circled the MCU for a little while. He was actually up for the role of Reed Richards before Pedro Pascal got it at one point when they were making the Fantastic Four First Steps. At one point, I believe he was up for that role of Reed Richards. It's not been confirmed, I don't think, but there's a lot of heavy rumors that came out around the time of the casting for that film that he was up for the role of Reed Richards. Of course, most of us know him from Star Wars as Kylo Ren, but I think he would be perfect for this role. Now, it's kind of interesting that he did play a villain and is going to be playing another one in the role of Magneto, but I think he's perfect for this. Now, it's not actually what I would have gone with. I didn't really have an actor picked for the role of Magneto, but Adam Driver wasn't on my list of actors I would have thought to be possibly Magneto. But it's not a name I'm mad about. It's a name that actually has me very intrigued as to what he could do with this role. I think he'll bring a lot of layer and depth, and we've had great Magneto actors already. Of course, Ian McKellen is going to make his grand return to the role in Avengers Doomsday. Michael Fassbender was able to both emulate what Ian McKellen did, but also make the role his own, and did another great performance, provided another great performance for Magneto. And so Adam Driver, of course, just an amazing actor. He's got the talent, he's got the charisma, he's got the aura. You know, he just has that. He has that vibe of Magneto. You can kind of feel like he could definitely portray this role very well. So he has like the stoicism of Magneto. He has that he can portray the anger of Magneto. So I think that this would be perfect casting. Should it be true? There's nothing confirmed. This is just rumors at this point, but I'd be all for it. I'm excited for this. There's not too much casting as far as the new X-Men series is going right now. Sadie Sink, I believe, is the only one we're pretty certain she's going to be Jean Grey in Spider-Man Brand New Day, and it's a strong possibility that she will be continuing on in the role. You don't cast an actress like Sadie Sink, and as young as she is, she can definitely play the role for quite some time. So for the actors that they're going for this younger cast of characters, especially for the X-Men, I can definitely see Sadie Sink going on and playing that character for a while. And then Adam Driver, of course, be a perfect Magneto for many years to come. So with him as Magneto, I'd actually be very curious to see who they're going to get to play Professor X in this new MCU, or this new phase of the MCU post Secret Wars. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think of Adam Driver playing Magneto in the new X-Men series? Do you like this casting? Do you not like this casting? What are your thoughts on Adam Driver's possible role as Magneto in the MCU? Go down in the comment section and let me hear from you. All right, another big MCU thing that came out. Well, I think it's a big MCU story, but I don't think a lot of people are reporting on it right now. I saw Chris from 3C Films talk about this, but he's the only person I've seen talk about this online, and it's that Michael Waldron will be writing a Nova film for Marvel Studios. Nova's a character that has been kind of teased for quite a while. Of course, you can go back to films like Guardians of the Galaxy, and the Nova Corps was in there, and I believe at one point they were going to go with either Richard Rider or Sam Alexander. I think Richard Rider is the Nova that they're going to go with in the MCU, and he's actually who I would pick to be the Nova that they go with. I am familiar with the Sam Alexander version from the cartoon Ultimate Spider-Man, and that's actually my only exposure to the character of Nova. So I'm very curious about this film. It does have I am intrigued by it, and going for projects like this actually kind of feels like old Marvel in the days of Phase 1 and Phase 2 and Phase 3, specifically Phase 2 and 3. But I think it's perfect for where we're going moving forward. We're going to kind of go into this mutant saga, I think, post-Secret War, so it'll be heavily focused on the X-Men and the mutants, but there will be other projects. There's going to be a Black Panther 3, Shang-Chi 2 is on the way, and then adding this Nova film in here, it makes perfect sense. And then Nova can join the Avengers or some kind of other cosmic team when we go further on into this next phase. I believe the Eternals are finally going to make the return. There's heavily rumored that they're going to be part of this new Avengers film that they're working on called Avengers Judgment Day, that the Russo brothers are actually signed on, or at least I think they're in talks to sign on to do another Avengers movie after Doomsday and Secret Wars. So I would really like to see Nova brought to the big screen. For a while, I think he was talked about maybe being on the Disney Plus side, and Disney Plus has been getting better, but I think Disney Plus is better suited for those more grounded street level characters like Daredevil and the Defenders, which is kind of more so what they're leaning into now. And then of course you can do the animated stuff like X-Men 97s, your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, stuff like that. We do have Vision Quest on the way, but I think that Disney Plus will probably be more relegated to either these special presentations like The Punisher, or the more grounded level characters, and do a series over like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, those guys. So with Nova, I always thought he was better suited to be a big film character, a character that we can go to the theaters and experience. I mean, they did it with Captain Marvel. I personally have always been more of a fan of Nova. I've kind of found his story, at least from what I know, again, only know the Sam Alexander version from Ultimate Spider-Man, but that character alone found him more interesting. He does have a connection with the Guardians of the Galaxy, so maybe there's a bit of history. Now, if they go with the Richard Rider version of the character, I don't know if he's going to have a connection with the Guardians, if there's some other cosmic team that he's familiar with. So I'm really curious to see what this film could be. I honestly have no idea where this could go, and that honestly gets me so excited because lately with Marvel, there's these projects that came out, a Moon Knight or a She-Hulk or Miss Marvel or whatever, that I'm not super familiar with, but I think it was more of the quantity over quality, so the quality started to dip. So then when you started hearing about all these other new properties they wanted to introduce, you're just kind of like, yeah, okay, but I mean, it hasn't really been working, has it? Lately, Marvel has been on a trajectory of correcting the quality aspect of their products and their work. So I think this year has been a great year for the MCU so far. Thought last year was mostly a great year for the MCU. Captain America: Brave New World notwithstanding. I mean, that film is fine. It's not great, it's not terrible, but it was okay. But everything else after that I thought was great. Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four. Even liked Daredevil Born Again Season 1. Season 2 was much better. But this year has also been on just a trajectory of, it's an upward trajectory for the MCU. And then, so I'm really excited to see where we're going to go with the MCU. There's been some reports on maybe some issues they're having with the edit for Avengers Doomsday. But I think they're going to be able to find the edit. I think it's going to be there. And I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. I've just been nothing but hyped for Doomsday. And it's got me excited to be a Marvel fan once again. So what are your thoughts on Michael Waldron writing the new Nova movie? He has experience with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. He wrote that movie. He wrote on the Loki series, at least the first season. He was going to write on when it was going to be Avengers King Dynasty and the original version of Secret Wars. I don't think he was going to be on King Dynasty. I think that was Jeff Loveness. Michael Waldron was supposed to be writing on the original take on Secret Wars. You may have forgotten, but he actually was brought on as a co-writer with Stephen McFeely on Avengers Doomsday. So he's got experience. He's still connected with the MCU right now. And I think for the most part, what he's added to the MCU has actually been very positive for me. I'm one of the few that actually really did enjoy Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. I could see its shortcomings, but overall, I did really enjoy that film. So, and I loved what he did with Loki Season 1. So I'm excited to see his involvement with the MCU going forward. They were confident enough to bring him into Avengers Doomsday. Kevin Feige seems to be a fan of him and what he's doing, what he's writing. So that's got my confidence in this project and what they're developing. And I'm glad that Nova's going to be a movie. Again, I think he's better suited to be on the film side, on the big screen, rather than be on one of the Disney Plus shows. So, a character that I think should be presented on a much grander scale. I'm excited for this project. Are you excited for the Nova movie? Go down in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. All right. The Digger trailer for the new Tom Cruise movie just came out, and this is a movie that has really been hyped, especially within the film sphere, film pundits talking about this movie as like the next grand return for Tom Cruise on the big screen. Really his like first big thing since the last Mission Impossible movie. I'll be honest, it's kind of been, I don't want to say pretentious. It doesn't seem like this has been, I don't know, super pretentious, but there's that element of everybody's making this movie out to be something that it might not be, but it could be. It could be Oscar worthy, but I have a fear that it might be more Oscar baity than Oscar worthy, that they really want this to be Tom Cruise's chance to win the Best Actor Oscar in this film, to get Best Picture. I don't know. I'm intrigued by the film, so I'm not hating on it at all. I thought the trailer was pretty interesting. With the prosthetics that Tom Cruise has on his face, he's definitely going all out for this role. So it's got my curiosity. I'm intrigued. I don't know if I love it though, so I'm kind of in that. I'm definitely going to go watch it. I'm going to go see it. So I mean, I guess the trailer did its job. It's got me intrigued. It's got me wanting to go to the theater and check this movie out. And but I don't know if it's going to be as good as maybe they're presenting it to be. It's going to be really wacky, really out there. And I'm not against that kind of film at all, but it just does seem like they're pumping this up to be like, this is the grand, like maybe the best film of Tom Cruise's entire career. They had that teaser that came out a little while ago that was 95% just clips from Tom Cruise's films prior to doing Digger. And now you have this film coming out. And for a while, we didn't even know what this movie was going to be. This trailer kind of opens up on what this film is really about. I believe that Cruise is playing this CEO type, and his company has kind of gotten the world in some kind of trouble. And now it's up to him to fix it, to make it better. And so I'm curious about where this film is going. John Goodman, he's playing the president in this movie, and I mean, I'm always excited to see John Goodman be a part of any project. So we'll see. This is kind of it's a wait and see, but I'm curious. I'm interested to go see it and see what Digger is actually about. So I hope it's not going. I hope it's not more like the pretentious side, not going for the Oscar baity stuff. But it's a fun film that we can all go as film fans and enjoy. So I'm not putting any judgment on this film. I have some concerns going into it, but I'm willing to be surprised, willing to have my mind changed to see. Maybe I'll think this is one of the best movies of the year when I come out of the theater, when I see it later. So, what are your thoughts on the Digger trailer? Are you excited to see this? Do you think this is going to be like one of the best films of Tom Cruise's entire career? That's what they're really building it up to be. So, do you think that's where this movie is going? Go down in the comment section and let me hear your thoughts on the Digger trailer that recently came out. I'd love to hear from you. All right, so now I'm going to do a little film review. I actually just watched the movie Young Washington from Angel Studios, and I don't know if this is a movie that's going to be for a lot of you, but in my opinion, this was actually a very good movie. You'll get some reports, some people saying that this film is just propaganda for America, but it's really not. Now, there is a weird message that Kelsey Grammer does at the end of the movie that I did think was kind of it wasn't in poor taste, but it does kind of seem like they're really, I don't know, pushing this movie to maybe, I don't know, it was just strange. But it wasn't bad, but it was just kind of strange. He's talking to the audience when the credits start rolling. And but that aside, his performance in the movie was very good. Ben Kingsley was very good in this, and Andy Serkis plays a character from history called Braddock in this film. Does a phenomenal job in the role. And then our new actor who plays George Washington, this young version of George Washington, really presents himself in a manner that he just kind of disappears into this role, into a version of Washington that I don't think a lot of us are familiar with. This is pre the American Revolution. This is before the colonies wanted to break away from the United Kingdom, from the kingdom of King George, before they wanted to break away from all that. You see the ambition of George Washington, and that's a word that gets tossed around a lot in this movie, is you see the ambition of this character, but then you also see the faults of this character and the failures of this character. And it doesn't shy away from showing you that this guy was not perfect. He had a lot to learn in his leadership, in how he lives, how he is as a human being. It just shows you, it kind of peels back the onion a little bit on the character of George Washington, and it brings him down to a more real level. Kind of this, we see him on this huge pedestal, like he's on Mount Rushmore, he's on the $1 bill, he's on the quarter. You got the Washington Monument, Washington D.C. named after him. You got all of these things that have propped him up through history, and for good reason. I mean, he was the first president of the United States. He was the commander-in-chief when America was in the Revolutionary War, breaking away from the United Kingdom. So, of course, he's been built up as this huge figure. But this movie really goes deeper into who he was as a person and how he got to where we know him to be. So I thought this was a wonderful interpretation of the character, of the person of George Washington, and I do think that if you've been hesitant to see this for any reason whatsoever, give this film a shot, because it was very good. This is actually my number 2 movie of the entire year so far. So this movie, it surprised me. I wasn't expecting it to be this good, but it was very good. In my opinion, one of the best movies of the entire year. So this is not me pushing it, no kind of propaganda, nothing like that. I want you to go and make your own opinion of Young Washington. If you don't like it, that's completely fine. This film is subjective. So I don't want to make you feel bad for not liking this movie. Never want to do that. At the end of the day, these are just films. It's entertainment. So if we disagree on movies, that's okay. We can disagree on movies, but I think this film was very good, and I think you should definitely go give it a shot. If I was going to give this movie a rating, it would be a 4.5 out of 5, or an A- on the letter scale. Again, my second favorite movie of the entire year. I really did enjoy this film, and I think you will too. So if you've had a chance to see Young Washington, go down in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. All right, last thing I want to touch on today is there has been some concern and some worry going back to Marvel with the MCU and with Avengers Doomsday recently. There's reports, and this kind of comes from John Campea, YouTuber John Campea. He reported on something that he heard from somebody who's involved with the production, but he got 2 things. So I don't want to just point this in one direction. One person said to him, Marvel's not able to find Avengers Doomsday. They're not able to find the movie in the edit. So they're in the edit. They filmed everything that they needed for the movie. Now they're in the edit bay. They're trying to piece this thing together, and it's not really flowing as cohesively as they would hope. The story's just maybe not coming together as great as they were wanting it to. But then he got in contact with somebody else who is also connected with the project, with this movie, and they said that that's not what they heard. They haven't heard that there's been these issues. It should be noted that maybe Marvel told them to tell Campia that everything's fine so that we can kind of put some water on the fire. We can kind of put the fire out for a little bit. Maybe not get the public sentiment on a negative note, because it's been on a pretty mostly positive note towards Doomsday, I think, for the most part. I mean, I've been excited for it. I think a lot of Marvel fans have been excited for it. So, I mean, there's been some criticism, some critique thrown towards Doomsday, but I think overall people have been mostly excited for it. And we're ready to see the MCU make its grand return back to theaters and just get back to the heights that it used to be. So we're getting conflicting reports. Is it in trouble? Is it not? Personally, for me, even hearing the reports that there's some trouble with it, I don't know what it is, but with this movie, it's still got me really hyped. I think just for the possibility of seeing some of our legacy characters back, like the X-Men, and maybe that's just nostalgia speaking, and maybe that's it. And then upon seeing the movie and then seeing it later, after a couple of watches, maybe my opinion will change. Maybe my love for the film will go up, maybe it will go down. Haven't seen the movie yet, so I really can't say anything in that regard, but I'm just willing to just see where this is going. So far, Marvel's been on a high. They've everything that's come out recently has been quite good. Wonder Man was very good. Daredevil Born Again Season 2, very good. I think Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to be very good. I'm excited for that. That's coming out in just a couple weeks. So I'm not worried about Doomsday. But there could be reason to be worried about Doomsday. So I'm just saying that let's not say the sky is falling just yet. I'm still willing to be surprised by what we've got here, but it's worth pointing out that there are some things being said about the movie, but there's nothing confirmed. And upon that, the one report from Campia, nobody else is really saying whether or not this film's going to be bad or not. So I'm in a wait and see mood with this movie. It's still my most anticipated movie of the year. I may be super excited for it at the end of the year. I'll be happy that it was my most anticipated movie of the year, or I'll be super bummed and disappointed, but we'll just have to wait and see. Are you excited for Avengers Doomsday? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are you worried about the production of Doomsday? Go down in the comment section and let's start that conversation. I would love to hear from you. All right, that'll do it for me for this episode of Talking Movies and More. What are your thoughts on all the topics I discussed here today? Adam Driver's Magneto, the Digger trailer starring Tom Cruise, the state of the MCU in Avengers Doomsday right now, the passing of Sam Neill, and whatever else I discussed in this video. Go down in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on all the topics discussed here today. I would love to hear from you. Before you go, remember, I have 2 YouTube channels I'm working on right now. I've got MP Games and More, where I cover my love of video games and what I just love about the whole gaming genre. It's called MP Games and More. You can go follow me over there on that channel. I'd love to have your support. I also love theme parks, going to Disney World. There's a local park I go to called Silver Dollar City. So I like going to theme parks and that whole theme park experience, and that's called MP Theme Parks and More. You can go follow me on that channel as well. Those 2 channels don't have much content on there right now, but I'm hoping to grow those channels very soon. I'd love to have your support for both of them. I thank you so much for supporting this channel, MP Movies and More. We're building a great community here, and I just love the trajectory I'm seeing. The channel is growing. It's kind of a slow growth, but it's growing. View count's going up, subscriber count's going up. So thank you so much. If you really like this channel and you want more people to see what I'm doing over here, please share this content with your friends and your family. I'd love to have your support in that way as well. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get notified when new videos go live to this channel. You guys do that, it always helps me out, and I greatly appreciate it. Remember, next week I got the Assembly Cut Episode 2 coming with myself and Hayden Smalley, and the week after, Talking Movies and More will return. So thank you guys so much for watching this installment of Talking Movies and More. I've loved having you all here in this conversation. I hope you all have an awesome and a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video.